Well in time to celebrate the end of the year, Chivalry 2 has gotten a fresh Christmas-themed content update. In this video I wanna give you guys an overview of the most important changes and additions, as well as some general thoughts on the current state of the game. Let's hop into it. First and foremost, Chivalry has changed their matchmaking playlist. 40 player servers are back on the menu and now feature team objective and last team standing. I'm very much in agreement with this decision, as long as there is enough players to keep two separate team objective queues going. Not only do the 40 player servers run smoother on lower end hardware, but games are also more enjoyable gameplay wise for a lot of players, including me. It's just nice to be able to have more of an impact on the outcome of a game and not be constantly in the middle of an absolute clusterfuck. Another change to the matchmaking playlist is the addition of a so-called beginner mode. These matches only have a maximum of 5 human players on each side and the rest is filled with bots. A pretty cool idea for a low effort semi-PvE mode that also doesn't split the player base too much, since it only takes 10 players to get a full lobby. The AI in Chivalry, however, is pretty bad, so I'm not sure if new players will improve their skill and get used to the skill level of a normal PvP match by playing this beginner mode. Of course, there is still the 64 player team objective playlist and the arena modes, which haven't been changed. Next on the list, we have a new brawl map, namely the festively decorated cathedral from Galencourt. The initial promise was to release a big new team objective map by the end of 2021, but the devs had to change their priorities and fix the core gameplay issues instead, as the game was in a pretty rough state for a while. Chivmas wouldn't be called Chivmas if there wasn't any Christmas-themed items and decorations. 5 maps have gotten holiday decorations. There are snowmans, snow castle, sledges, throwable snowballs and presents, and more stuff that gives the game a fresh and festive atmosphere. There are also 3 time-limited helmets for this event: a Santa hat, a reindeer hat, and a snowman hat. Besides those, the Chivmas update also brings new cosmetics in general, 29 armor and weapon pieces in total. There is a new armor set line for Agathian archers and one for Agathian vanguards, as well as 2 new fancy helmets also for the Agathian vanguards. Weapon-wise, there are new skins for the glaive, the longbow, the morning star, the one-handed axe, the pole hammer, and the warbow. Speaking of which, the warbow is a brand new weapon that got added with this update. It is exclusive to the longbowman and requires archery level 18 to be unlocked. Compared to the longbow, the warbow deals more damage and has less arrow drop-off. The trade-off is a slower draw time. Let's have a look at the, in my opinion, most important combat and weapon changes. The longbow draw time has been increased by 200 milliseconds. Objectively, I think archery is still pretty strong if you're reasonably good at aiming. It is pretty hard, however, to find the exact balance between overpowered and useless with ranged weapons in a melee game. Footman bandages have been slightly buffed. The bandage throw has reduced windup and the projectile is faster. The Devastator is now the only subclass in the game that can use heavy weapons without a movement speed penalty. Stab type special attacks have been nerfed and should now deal the damage a bit later within their release. The same is true for sprint charge attacks. Parry, combo and feint inputs should now be more consistent. The short sword has been nerfed. It now has slower stabs and less stab damage. Also, the one-handed spear has been nerfed by increasing its stab windup. The rapier, on the other hand, has been buffed. Faster horizontal strikes, faster overheads, faster stabs, and more damage on the special attack. The special attack now also has a slightly larger dodgeback. The combat in general feels better than 2 months ago. Surely, there is still this general clunkiness that I think is mainly caused by the absence of a fast, responsive feint to parry mechanic. Also, some of the animations and the netcode and hit registration still could use improvement. The Chivmas update brought various bug and performance fixes, as well as some balance changes to team objective maps. I will leave the link to the full patch notes in the video description below, if you wanna check them out in detail. For everyone that hasn't been up to date with the development, crossplay parties are still not in the game, but have now a timeline. Quote, "With ongoing work to stabilize the game and provide the best quality experience for players, we are expecting to launch crossplay parties in Q2 2022. A console server browser will also be released at the same time that will allow console players to choose which server they want to join from a list instead of using the matchmaking system." Well, if I'm perfectly honest, this first year after release feels like an early access phase, where Tornbanner tries to sort out gameplay issues while adding a bunch of essential content that should be already in the game. However, if they keep up with their update schedule until next summer, the game might content-wise actually be in a good state for the Steam release and attract some new blood. Speaking of the Steam release, the game has now a Steam page. The release date is still to be announced, but should be in June 2022, as soon as their 1-year exclusivity deal with Epic Games runs out. If we take a quick look at the roadmap, the next update would feature a new game mode called Raid, as well as a new team objective map, a new weapon and more. A Raid game mode sounds pretty hype, although at this point we can only speculate what it will look like. Other planned features like modding support, private servers or the addition of horses don't have any deadline, but are still planned according to the roadmap and some developer statements. Competitive game modes are also still planned according to the roadmap. I actually made a community survey on my channel where I ask you guys if you would like to see ranked duels or ranked 3v3s in Chivalry 2. There are 712 votes in total. 63% voted yes, they would like to see ranked matchmaking for the arena modes. 26% voted no, they don't want Tornbanner to add rank to this game, and 12% said that they would like to have skill-based matchmaking, but without displayed ranks. Personally, I would be fine with them implementing ranked duels. Ranked 3v3 needs a lot of players to work properly and is hard to balance with premates and solo queue players. Furthermore, in my opinion, Chivalry 2's combat system isn't very good for competitive play, and the devs probably shouldn't waste too many resources on that front. Anyway guys, that's it for this quick update overview. Let me know in the comments what you think of this update. Did you expect more, or are you guys content with the current state of the game? Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button to not miss any future videos. As always, thank you all for watching and see you soon.